Okay, this video is called All Killer No Filler. What I want to show you today is just focusing on keywords is going to get you all the marks, and you don't need to fill your answers at all. No need to add anything that you don't need. No need to write 3 or 4 points for one part of your answer. And once you get good keywords in, the examiner is going to give you all the marks very quickly, and then you can move on. So I'm just going to look at comparing an answer that has loads in it, which is great, but then another answer that has much less in it, which is going to save you loads of time, and it's still great. It's going to get as many marks as it, because in business you either get all your marks or you don't get any marks. So let's have a look. Okay, to start, we're going to just look at the 2019 question 4B. Okay, for this then, it was a question that was about hexagon solutions, and they gave us a little bit of a mini introduction here, talking about it offers competitive salaries and long-term contracts of employment to all employees. A team structure exists within the business where they work on projects, staff ideas are accepted, and innovation is rewarded. Hexagon supports employees who take on further studies. So they give us lots of kind of introduction to this. And the most important thing with that is that if they mention hexagon in the question, which they do, you're going to have to mention them in the answer. Besides that, when we look at the question, the verb here is outline. So outline generally means you would state something and then explain it with key words. And it's different stages. So if it's stages, you have to do them in order. If they were done out of order, you wouldn't be getting full marks. So essentially what we're looking at is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay, so the marking scheme then, there's 5 stages, so there's 5 sets of marks, 4 marks each, so 1 mark for naming a stage, 2 marks for the keywords for the stage, and 1 mark then for linking to hexagon, because hexagon are in the question. So my corrector's pen out here, so you can see stage 1, physiological needs. I'm going to award 1 mark for that. Okay. Now next, as a corrector, all I'm looking for is to find some keywords about physiological, and I'm going to give you 2 marks. So let's have a read. Maslow believed that this need was the most important need to use as the base of his hierarchy of needs. This meant humans would focus on the need above all other needs, and if this need wasn't met by the person, they'd struggle to become motivated by higher needs. Okay, so here we have something that is correct, totally true and accurate, but completely unnecessary. We absolutely don't need this, because it is not kind of this is what I would call filler here. It's totally appropriate, it's totally like useful or truthful, but we just don't need it at all to score well and leave in cert business. So let's go on. If the person was lacking in more than one need at a time, if physiological needs was one of them, then they prioritize on that need first above the other needs. So again, totally true, but totally just not that important. Okay. These needs include the basic needs a human wants, like physical needs of eating and drinking. This here is the good stuff. So this bit here will essentially get us our 2 marks, because that's essentially what is in the marking scheme for Maslow. Okay. This student then goes on, if a person was extremely hungry, that need is the dominant need, and then they'd find it hard to focus on other things. So again, all very good information, but completely overkill. There's a lot of filler, bit of introduction-y type stuff, talking about like why it's on the base, etc., etc. All the examiner really wants to see is if you know what a physiological need is, and it's essentially eating or drinking. Okay, and if we look at the example then, because the other mark will be for linking in hexagon solutions, so they offer competitive salaries, I would give the mark straight away here for just saying competitive salaries. So we would have full marks to that point. But this student goes on, so they're giving their workers enough money to buy the basics like food and drinks to be able to satisfy their physiological needs, meaning hexagon solution workers will be able to focus their motivation on other needs, as these needs will be satisfied. So totally good information, completely true, but way too much writing, and this student is going to run out of time. So you don't need to keep on going when you know something well. You need to back yourself that if you just get a good statement in and you develop it well and link it if you need to, like in this case with hexagon, you'll get all of your marks. If you're using the handout, you can see just at the bottom of the first page, I sat the leaving cert in 2019, so this is my script here. I wrote physiological needs. You can see the examiner gave me a mark. I said the need for food and shelter, that's literally all I wrote. And I'm getting all the marks because I'm showing the examiner I understand what a physiological need is. And then I'm saying hexagon offer competitive salaries, and I'm getting the other mark here. So this is a H1 answer, 4 out of 4. It gets as many marks as the best answer in the country, because I'm just focusing on the killer words. Keep it concise, keep it to the point. Okay, so we're saying like don't waffle, don't add padding, don't introduce stuff, don't say stuff like Oh, Maslow was very important, and one of the most important needs is like get rid of all that stuff, just get straight into the good stuff. That's all the examiner's interested in, and that's all they'll want to see when they're correcting your exam in July.